be the same for same application. Same formula, M into Cp into delta T. Again, it is going to be represented by in terms of tonnage, right? Then the compressor, we are having a three type of compressor. One is a reciprocating compressor, screw compressor, and centrifugal compressors. Normally, reciprocating compressors are having a capacity of 120 tonnage of capacity. We are using this one. Where the screw compressors, we are using the 20 to 750. Now it is I mean, mostly it is used for medium type application. For high tonnage applications, we are using centrifugal type compressors, which can be applicable for 150 to 10,000 tonnage capacity. So what are the things you have to monitor for the best operating practices? You have to monitor the compressor performance by regularly monitoring what is the power it takes the input power. What is the suction pressure and temperature? What is the discharge pressure and temperature of the fluid or the refrigerant? What you are going to compress it. Then what is the best operating practices? You can keep your cooling temperature should be optimal value, because 1% rise in chilled water temperature or 1 degree lowering of condenser water temperature improves chiller efficiency by 2 to 3%. Very important point. So your chilled water temperature, if you are as lower as possible, that means your evaporator coil should be very clean and it should have a delta T value, very lesser value. So if you are maintaining 1 degree lesser, then automatically that improves the 2 to 3% of your chiller efficiency, improved efficiency. Then cooling tower, already we discussed this point in elaborate manner. The higher amount of heat produced from the compressor will be given as an input like this. See, you can see there is a sprinkler arrangement which is keep on rotating. There is no motor. So based on the flow of the water itself, it will start rotating. Okay. So the water will be sprayed, and there is a fins are available. There is a medium fins are available, and it will be sprayed in this way. So during the spray itself, the heat content will be removed. Apart from that, we have a fan, and that fan also keep on rotating. Okay, so because of that one, the amount of heat generated is going to be get out or leaving from the space. So what will happen when the hot air will be coming here? Then automatically it will be falling in this fins and mesh arrangement, the fins arrangement. So automatically the temperature is get reduced, and here the temperature is going to be almost low. Now that will be again given to the process through the output. Now the main important point is, are we running this fan continuously? You can see any cooling tower. If you go to any auditing or any HVAC system, and you can ask, are you having cooling tower? If they say yes, then you can ask whether your cooling tower fan is keep on running for 24 hours. 99% of the people tell that yes. 24 hours the fan is keep on running. What is the advantage of running the fan? What is the purpose of running the fan? It is the fan facilitate to reduce the heat, to evacuate the heat from the water. Am I correct? So during the daytime, the temperature, atmospheric temperature is very higher. Also, your water from the compressor is having a high temperature. So because of that one, you need a fan which will be rotated at a very faster rate or a desired speed, so that can be used. During the night time, early morning, the atmospheric temperature is so less. So because of that one, your AC load will also having an impact. So during that time, you don't require a fan. Strictly speaking, there is no need for fan to run. But if you need a fan, but that should be in a very lower speed, because the temperature itself is low. So therefore, the amount of heat evacuated is also lesser. So you need not run the fan at higher speed. Sometimes you may switch off the fan itself. That's a better. Okay, so this arrangement itself evacuate the heat. Even though if you require a fan, you can run the fan at a very lower speed during the nighttime operation. Similarly, for winter duration, you can reduce this fan speed by connecting the motor with a VFD, or switch off the fan for quite some time. That can have a good savings. Number one. Number two, when the hot water coming inside and it will pass on to this one, some of the water droplets will came out. That is called spillage. That's called spillage. Will come out, which will fall outside the cooling tower chamber. This is one case. Second case, because of very high speed, we don't know whether the speed is going to be right or wrong. Sometimes if you see the speed is going to be very too high, because of that one, it will take the water vapor through this one, through the fan itself. If you see that cooling tower from here, you can see the water droplet coming out of the fan. This is called high speed of the fan will produces a very high back pressure here. So because of that one, the water vapor will come out. That's called again spillage. So that is another indication of high speed, higher running speed. So there is not properly optimized. Not the correct size will be put here. So because of the spillage, the water level is get down. So in order to make up the water, a backup water pump will be always available. So when the water level is lesser, then the pump automatically turn on because of the floating valve. This is automatic, almost automatic. So if it is lesser, then automatically the valve will close, the motor will start and feed the water which is required. Okay, then these are all the points to be monitored in the cooling tower. Monitor the chilled water and cooling water temperature and pressure. Monitor the fan power and monitor the range and approach. Range and approach is the two more important parameter for the cooling tower. Similarly, for any heat in the system. So this is something similar to how much amount of heat is evacuated and what is the design value. Again, it is something similar to your UPL, unit per liter of a generator. What is the design value? What is now it is exactly producing. Same thing, what is the design value of heat to be removed and what is now it is removed. So that is your range and approach. So what is the best operating practices? Cooling tower, you have to check the regular cleaning because whenever the water through the fills automatically because of fouling effect, because of the quality of the water, automatically the fouling effect will be there. So that should be properly cleaned so that your heat transfer takes place. Similarly, air around the cooling tower must be properly restricted, and you need a very proper cycling of the air. And water level also very important because you didn't use whatever may be the water. It should be a quality water for your chiller application, and that should be having a proper TDS measurement. Automatic TDS measurement also give a very good quality of the water. That also reduce your scale formation and improve your efficiency of the heat. Then we already discussed this point, air handling unit. Air handling unit is a very bigger application. We are using air handling unit. Chilled air can be flowing to the supply because chilled water will be flowing to the coil, and we are using a fan, and that fan can be supplying taking the air from the atmosphere, pass on the air to the cooling coil, and because of that one, the air will cool up, and that air will be passing through your space. The return air will be again taken in the top of the system and again back to the circulation. So what are the important points to be taken into account? You have a supply air fan, you can have a return air fan, you can have a cooling coil, sometimes you can have a heating coil. What are the instruments normally used for measuring or doing the HVAC audit? HVAC audit is a separate audit, not comes under that. Of course, it is a part of the energy audit also, but some people are doing HVAC audit separately. If the chiller load is going to be very higher, then it is recommended to have a separate HVAC audit. So these are all the equipment normally used. One is a water flow meter. If it is a water cooled chiller, you need a water flow meter. You can use online electromagnetic type flow meter or digital, flow meter type, electromagnetic type, or sometimes ultrasonic type flow meters you can use. Then air flow meter. What is the air flow? You can measure with the help of an anemometer. A portable anemometer is enough. Temperature measurement, you can use a temperature gauge or sensor, or you can use a power quality, IR thermometer, power analyzer to measure the power of the motor, pump, compressor. Then the pressure gauges where it is going to be submerged. So general operating practices, best operating practices, refrigerant power should be properly checked, handling and storage of the retrofitting the equipment, check the water leakage, pipe insulation. Again, it's a chilled water flowing now. So you need a very proper insulation for the piping system. That is going to be hot or cold. Outside ambient temperature, outside system should not be spoiling. So therefore, whether the system is going to be hot or the system is going to be lower, it should be properly insulated. So that insulation to be always checked. The chilled water flowing pipe system should have a proper insulation, and that insulation should be properly checked. Sometimes ice formation is also there, but that should be avoided, right? Then appropriate setting of the temperature. Some people will require 18 degrees, some people may require 24 degrees, but it is depending upon the operation or activity taking place in the room, and you can set the mindset of the people such that this room will have this much amount of degree centigrade, and you have to work for this. And similarly, you can go for a regular maintenance of AC plant as per the guidelines given by the chiller manufacturer or the AHU manufacturer or both. So these are all some of the best operating practices. You can regularly clean the cooling tower. This is the fins. You can take the fins out, and you can. This is called the refurbishing. You can take the fins out and clean it because of the water fouling will be always taken place. Possible, you can see this is something like that. So it should be very regularly cleaned with the help of a compressed air or by using some other mechanism. Sometimes you can have a spare system. You can put a spare, and you can clean it, the system, and you can put it in the next service. So keeping the spare is good idea, and replacing with the spare is a good idea. Heat exchangers should be always regularly cleaned because it's a tube type, or sometimes it's a coil type, or sometimes it's a plate type heat exchangers. So each and every plate should be properly cleaned and check that the inlet water and outlet, inlet fluid or outlet fluid are having proper heat transferring capacity takes place. Now, these are all the energy saving opportunities are available. You can have a process heat load minimization. Suppose if your requirement is going to be lesser, you operate the lesser chiller, and the flow optimization for the refrigerant, similarly for water, chilled water, and similarly for the cooling water, properly optimize the flow. Then you can use the variable frequency drive for the AHU, because sometimes the space where you are giving the AC air conditioning system, sometimes the people will be higher, sometimes the people will be lower. So for the lower people, you do not have you don't operate the fan, even though the chiller coil is going to be the same, but the fan operation is going to be restricted, because you may give a lesser amount of air to the people because it is sufficient. The amount of people available in the room is going to be very lesser. So you can use the speed control of the AHU blower, AHU fan with the help of a VFD. I told you the VFD fan, VFD can be also applied for the cooling tower fan based on the temperature of the atmosphere, based on the summer condition, based on the winter condition. You can use the VFD. And part load application, when the load is lesser, when the load is half or 1/3 or 2/3, then based on that you can operate the compressor by fitting the VFD drives. That's also very important. So normally the 120 TR chiller capacity is designed for 10 shops in a shopping mall. For example, if it is designed for 10 shops in a shopping mall, 120 TR. Assuming that eight shops are now running, only 2 shops are closed because of some reason. But you are running the compressor for the same speed. It's not advisable because only eight shops are open. 80% load is available. 20% load is not available. So you can reduce the speed of the compressor such that you can deliver the required amount of load of the chiller system, so that you can save a huge amount of energy. So what are the factors affecting the performance heat exchanger area? As we know that all the HVAC system will have a heat exchanger, evaporator, cooling tower, condenser, all heat exchangers. It will change the heat from one place to another place, or cold from one place to another place. Okay. Now the main important point is you need a very proper surface area, and that surface area to be properly maintained. So if it is not maintained, automatically the surface area will affect the performance of the system. So that will increase your power rating or heat transfer, reduce the heat transfer capacity. Now these are all the regularly monitoring sheet of an AHU and chiller. You can see that where the particular chiller is available, what tonnage capacity, what is the measured water flow, if it's a water cooled chiller, liter per second, what is the inlet temperature, what is the outlet temperature. So before going to the coil, what is the temperature, after coming out of the coil, what is the temperature, what is the actual TR is transferred, what is the power measured at the input side of the compressor, and what is the kW by TR value, right? And similarly for your AHU and other parameters, the same thing, AHU value, and what is the TR capacity or CFM capacity of the AHU. Then what is the measured air velocity, what is the area it is covering, what is the inlet temperature and what is the outlet temperature, what is the actual TR, and what is the power taken by the motor. This is for AHU measurement or FCU measurement. And this should be always taken into account at regular interval, you have to take the reading and compare the reading with your design value or the previous value. When the previous value is going to be lesser and now it is going to be very higher, then you have to take action. What is the problem? Whether the problem is in the AHU or problem in the chiller, problem in the compressor, problem in the heat exchanger, or problem in the cooling temp. So that you have to identify which area you need. You are having a deviation temperature. Nowadays, all the chillers are come out with the digital measurement meters, and that will give all the parameters in the HMI panel itself. No need to take all the manually note all the parameters which is available in the system HMI itself, and you can connect the HMI to your server or to your system through a Wi-Fi or by GPS or by any other LAN connection, and you can get all the data from the chiller itself by sitting in your room itself, and you can optimize all the system based on the occupancy level, based on the flow rate of the system. Based on the people who are working, you can either on the AHU of the AHU, on the chiller of the chiller, partially load the chiller or fully load the chiller. So this can be easily done with the help of an BMS, building management system, which is normally available. So 2-3 case studies are represented here. One is reduction of AC load. So set temperature is reduced from the percent value. So operating system has a large control room kept 20 degree. Which is going to be somewhat cool, so therefore they want to increase the temperature from 20 to 25 degree, so that the TR value is going to be increased. So because of that, how much amount of energy can be saved. So if you increase the temperature from 20 to 25 degree, which is comfortness, because of the comfortness, if you are increasing, then automatically 0.7 is the 0.7 kilowatt per tonnage is the ratio. 30 ton is the available capacity. So 0.7 into 30, which is equal to 21. So you can have a savings of 1,68,000 without giving any amount or without having any investment. Now the use of a water cooled chiller instead of air cooled chiller, if you go for a water cooled chiller, then these are all the additional savings are available. Sometimes the space is also constrained, so therefore you can also go like this. Then refrigeration charging of the equipment instead of so you can see 8 degree chill water system, 3 refrigerant compressors are 75 kilowatt ACUs, baseline compressor. This is the baseline data. The measurement taken is refrigerant is charged and suction pressure is to 4.5. This resulted in increase in the 35% compressor. The pressure is higher, and that can be reduced because of non-availability of the refrigerant available, but the pressure is not sufficient to take the gas out from the cylinder. So therefore, you are using a proper pressure and you switch off one compressor, so that will save a huge amount of money. Then reducing the compressor capacity by actual loading capability by speed control operation. I told you because of the occupation level. You can reduce the system compressor loading percentage. So actual value is going to be like this, and save huge amount of money if the speed control is possible. Retrofitting the temperature control normally available, but if it is very older chiller, you can fit a temperature control. Based on the temperature control, you can operate the machine. That will also have a good savings. Okay. Now that is all about the HVAC system. Only one topic is left, that is furnace, and as per the requirement of the participants, I will explain what is the preparation you require to become a certified engineer. This is a request from the participants. Okay, so now there are 5 to 7 more minutes are available. You can ask if you have any questions. You can post your questions in the chat box. Then we will have a break, 10 to 15 minutes. We will come back by 3:15. Quickly look at the furnace. Then we will move on to the how to become a certified majority. What are the qualifications required? And all those things we will discuss very quickly in the next 40 minutes. Any questions from the participants? Ananya madam? Sneha madam? Available?
Yes, sir. I'm here. We can take a break if there are no questions from the participants.
wait for 1 more minute. If there is there
Sure.
anybody want to open the mic or using the chat box? Okay. Okay, let me break for when we will come back, man. Now it is time is 2:55. Can we
Yes,
come back by 3:10?
3:05 to 3:10. Yes, sir. 10 minutes will do.
Okay, 10 minutes. I will come by 3:05, madam.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
No reply. I friends sent you an email. Okay. ஏய் அங்கேயும் இங்கே அடிச்சு போகுது வந்து சொன்னா கேளுப்பா. அமைதி ஒரு கிளாஸ் முடிஞ்சு அவனுக்கு Hello, madam. Hello.
Yes, Dr. Sivarasu.
Madam, can we start, madam?
Sure. All right.
Do you have any announcement now?
No announcements, Dr. Sivarasu. Just
Okay.
one important one for all participants, that the assessments will be circulated once Dr. Sivarasu has completed the training. And yeah, we'll give you further instructions on that. So please be ready for that. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. So the last discussion point is the furnace. Okay. Now it visible, madam?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
A furnace is also something similar to the boiler, where here we are using fuel, different type of fuel to burn or to produce the heat, to heat the metal. So there in boiler, we heat the water and we convert the water into steam. But here it is different. We are using some fuel that can be used to heat it up, produce heat. That heating can be used to melt the metals. Sometimes cast iron or pig irons, then metals like aluminium, some alloy material also. So those equipments are called as a furnace. Now the classification of furnace is this one. We normally classify the furnace based on 3 different modes. According to the mode of heat transfer, we are having an open fire place furnace heated through medium. There's a separate medium will be available and through which the heating takes place. Where the second category is very important. According to the mode of charging, charging is putting the material, the melting material. That's called as charging. Okay, so according to the mode of charging, we have a 2 types. One is a batch process and one is a continuous process. Again, in the batch process, we are having a forging type and a re-rolling type and a part type. Part type means part type furnaces normally installed below the earth. So 1/3 of the furnace will be above the earth, 2/3 will be below the earth. So that is a normal, it's a round type, mostly round type furnace, which will mainly use to hold the metal at a constant temperature for some time, and because of that, the property of the material will change. Either it will contrast or it will sink. So now the main important point is batch furnace and continuous. Continuous means it is keep on running, 24 hours it is keep on running. Whereas batch process will not like that. It will run either 1 day per shift, 1 shift per day, or 2 shifts per day, or 10 days per month, like that. When the material available, then they will run, otherwise they will not run. This is one case. Second case, they will run for only 10 days, the remaining 20 days will be not utilized because their stock will be closed. They will use this batch process for their application. It is stored, the output material can be stored in the store and it can be used for other process. So those applications they are using batch process. Okay. Now continuous process is different. It is going to be keep on running. Okay. So we need to have 2 different strategy for batch process and continuous process. We can't able to do the same energy conservation activity for the batch process and continuous process because it is different. This is different. Okay. Say for example, we recently went to one company where they are using furnace, metal molding furnace, molding a metal of cast iron with it's not cast iron, it's a wear resistance cast iron, WR grade, and that is normally used for 2 shifts per day. And they are using the output material to the machining center, part furnace, and from the part furnace it is given to the machining center. Because they are manufacturing extruded rod from the material. So that is why it is used only two shift or maximum 1 shift or maximum 2 shifts per day. So when the machine off or the furnace completely off at 12 o'clock or even 1 o'clock, the next day 8 o'clock it will be started up. So you need to heat up. You need to preheat all the equipment. you need to heat up the crucible, you need to heat up the ladder, all the things you have to heat up. So additional amount of energy is required whenever you have a batch process is available. That is why we recommend a continuous process is going to be better. Even if it is a batch process, you can do all the activity throughout the entire week or entire 10 days or specified time, then you can completely shut down the plant. But again, that is a problem for the company. If they run the furnace for 10 days, the remaining 20 days is ideal. Then how the manpower can be utilized? Manpower taken for the furnace can be utilized how? So these are all some of the problems that comes into nature. So the strategy for batch furnace and continuous furnace is not going to be the same. Of course, it's going to be different. Okay. Now the material, the fuel normally used is furnace, oil, then coal, then electrical furnace. Then we have other fuels also. This is the chamber in which the metal is given. This is the forging furnace. Then batch type and continuous type. And this is the simple furnace features. You have a burner, and you have a door, charging door, and you are feeding the metal here, stocks metal here. And the chamber is here, and our output component will be go outside. Because of the heat developed, the metal will melt out, and automatically the flue gas will come out, and that can be taken out. And here the burner is available. Burner can be mixed with the air. Again, the same thing. You need an air, you need a burner, you need a fuel, you need a proper mixing of the air to the fuel ratio, and you need to mix a proper temperature, turbulence. Everything is going to be applicable. Both boiler and furnace are almost same. This is the chamber. This is the heating chamber. The metal is available, and you are applying the heat here. And because of radiation, because of convection, and the metal start melting, it's almost a closed chamber. Okay. Now the main point in the furnace is the losses. This is the different type of furnace, and how the metal are filled inside the furnace. So normally the cast iron are used this type of furnace. This is called cupola furnace. Now it is replaced by electrical furnace. So in Coimbatore, so many foundry industries are there. These foundry industries are mostly they are using cupola furnace earlier days. Now they are replacing with the electrical furnace. Now the advantage of electrical furnace is efficiency is higher, and the melting rate is also higher. For one mold of melt, they will take, say 1 mold of melt, the time taken to take the 1 mold of melt is going to be lesser than compared to the cupola furnace. Similarly, the cupola furnace will require additional component like pig iron, cast iron, other metals. We need sometimes coke to fill it inside the furnace, and also preparation work before commencing the firing system is also higher, and the installation failure rate also very higher because of the furnace heat transferring capacity. So that is why the cupola furnace earlier was replaced with an electrical furnace. But the main drawback of the electrical furnace is you may require a separate transformer for the furnace, because you can't able to connect the furnace with the normal supply. Most of the time it will be thyristor controlled furnace, because the temperature can be changed with respect to the metal condition. Initially the temperature is going to be minimum, and when the metal is poured inside the crucible, that's called as the chamber is called as a crucible, then the metal once it is poured means they will increase the temperature. Then automatically a thyristor controlled panel is definitely required. So because of that one, the harmonic produce is also very higher. We measure so many foundry industries, harmonic level of foundry industries. So that is why the furnace manufacturers are now moving from a 12 pulse converter, 6 pulse converter to 12 pulse converter. If you go for a 12 pulse converter, automatically the harmonic level get reduced, and also it will improve the efficiency at least by 10%. That is, energy saving is 10% possible. Only thing is the initial cost is going to be higher, but it can be recovered within 3 to 4 years, because you are having a lesser amount of harmonic problem, and similarly minimum 10% energy saving is possible because of the higher nature of pulse rating system. Quickly it will heat it up. So these are all some of the advantages and disadvantages of the cupola furnace as well as the as well as the electrical furnace. So in furnace industries, the main important problem is, the main important thing is, we have a furnace, and furnace can be fed by separate transformer. We have an auxiliaries. Auxiliaries will have a separate transformer sometimes, or we have a separate feeder to feed auxiliary loads like motor, pump, compressors, all those things. You know, the molding pattern will have their own system. So for that, we require some amount of motor, blowers. So for that, we need a power. Similarly, after the molding, we have to knock out the metal, and that can be machined. So for that, we need a separate motor and blower systems. So again, we need a compressor and all those things for our auxiliary applications. So sometimes auxiliary load is going to be 30 to 40% of the total load then compared to the furnace. Furnace is going to be almost 50 to 60% of the total load. Okay. But the operating voltage of the furnace and the operating voltage of the auxiliary equipment is different. Operating voltage of the auxiliary equipment are supply voltage. Whereas sometimes the furnace voltage is going to be different. It's maybe slightly unstandard voltage like 525 voltage, 565 voltage, because they are optimizing the value of the voltage based on the metal is melted. So depends on that, they will decide. So that's why they have a separate transformer for the melting application if they go for electrical. Okay. Now the point in the metal is, we have an induction furnace. This is the electrical furnace or induction furnace. Almost induction furnace. You have a crucible, molded metal, and you can have a refractory insulations. Then you have a coil. This is a Kanthal material coil. It's a round type, spiral type, which is located here. Throughout the entire chamber, we have an R phase, Y phase, B phase, RYB, RYB, like that. So it will be throughout the entire 360 degree. The coils were placed so that uniform heat can be produced. So we need to take the molten metal temperature, where we have a separate thermocouple, and we need to maintain the temperature of the crucible, furnace chamber. So that is, again, we have a separate K-type thermocouple will be always available, and this should be compared. Okay. Now the main point about the furnace is rather energy conservation. Improving the productivity is the main important case. Why? Because you are molding the metal. Either it's let us assume it's a cast iron. You are molding the cast iron, and we are using the molten metal taken in the ladder, and some people will carry the ladder, and they will pour the molten metal in the boxes to make the required shape or required product. Okay, they will pour. Now, normally the ladder will be carried out by the people, or sometimes if it is a very bigger industry, they will use cranes to carry the vehicle. Now, if the metal take out from the crucible and pour into the ladle, then the ladle should be initially preheated, because if the ladle is ambient temperature, then if you pour the metal, immediately the temperature will drop. Immediately the molten metal temperature will drop. So that will affect the quality. So what the people will do, they will preheat the ladle with the help of a gas-fired or diesel-fired system. They will preheat the ladder and they will take the metal. And similarly, they have to prepare the pieces, the mold in such a way that once the metal is ready, immediately they have to take up. We have to tap all the metals and it should be poured. So preparation work to take the metal is very important. The preparation work, mostly you have to start the preparation work minimum half an hour before, even sometimes 1 hour before the molten metal take out. Okay, so when the preparation work is going to be very pakka, then you can take the tapping very easily, very quickly. Then you can pour the other metals. So that will increase the number of tappings per day. If you take a number of tappings, five tappings per day, if you increase to 6 tappings, that is a huge saving. So preparatory work and the associated activities are properly trained so that the number of tappings can be improved. This is the actual savings for the industries. They are not concerning about the efficiency motor or compressor. That's secondary. They will only see the productivity and similarly improve the tapping rate and how it can be improved. So this is again taken care by the best operating practices. How it can be operated, the plant is operated, not the furnace. The entire plant is operated. How it is given training. So based on that, you have to get the information. Similarly, before the tapping, they will take only a sample of tapping, a small liquid portion, and that can be given to the spectro lab, and they will check the metals inside the systems, whether it is a correct combination or not. Normally, the spectro lab will be always inside the factory, and sometimes it is very far away from the furnace area. So it will take some amount of time to go there and test the value and come back, and whether it is going to be correct, then they have to tap it. When it is not correct, they may add some other impurities like pig irons, coal, coconut shell, something like that to improve the property. So that also taken care. So what is the time taken to complete the spectro is also important. If it is less than 1 minute, if it is less than 5 minutes, it is good. If it is more than 5 minutes, it should be curtailed. So those things are taken into account. Allied activities are taken into account. That will decide the productivity of the furnace. Okay. Now, the energy efficiency point of view, normally the factors affecting the furnace efficiency is poor maintenance of the system. We are not properly maintaining the furnace. You know that the furnace area is completely of dust normally. And similarly, because of that one, accumulation of the dust inside the coil, inside the system, will also have an effectiveness of the heat transfer capacity. So those things are very important. Poor coordination between the melting staff and coordination. See, this is the point I told you. Material handling equipment, absence of the material handling equipment, poor molding efficiency, furnace holding time is going to be high. Poor quality of scrap, reducing the lining system. So what type of metal you are going to put? Normally, we will put the 100% raw material we are not putting. We will put normally 50 to 60% raw material. Then we will give the linings and borings, rejected pieces into that, and that should be properly poured. And how much amount of pouring you are putting, the metal you are putting, whether it's 100% not 100% are not possible, but filling of the crucible is very important. Rather 70% filling, 90% filling, I can vote for 90% because we're taking 90% of the material in the system. Then you have the same thing. This is the Sankey diagram of the heat loss in the system. 90%, most of the heat are transferred to the body of the furnace, and that should be properly insulated. When the insulation is failure, then automatically heat can be transferred to the outside of the furnace, so that it is a completely lost. So this is again a ball loss. I mean, in the top portion we have a body loss. Then when you open the furnace for tapping, then the radiation loss. So most of the industries are not having the door for the crucible. It's going to be always open, but it is recommended to have a door. Sometimes you can recover the flue gas. Flue gas recovery can be used for additional applications. So those are all the points in the case of furnace. Now, I think about this is the another important point, how the burner is going to be placed inside the chamber. This is the wrong, and this is going to be the right. And you can see it should not directly heated on the chamber. This is for cupola furnace, not for the induction furnace. Induction furnace is different. Okay, it should be like this. And this is the operating temperature of the furnace. Depends on the metal. And similarly, the draft control, the way in which the air is going to be rotated. Waste heat recovery, possible you can have a waste heat recovery system in the flue gas. Take it for your own application like air preheater, or preheat the metal itself. Because before putting into the metal, if you preheat it, then automatically that will reduce your energy consumption. That's also possible. So this is the point in the furnace, similar to the compressor. Only thing is here, similar to the boiler, but only thing is boiler will produce the steam, can be go to the outside, but here it's not like that. So it's only melting the metal. different type of metal having its own melting point. So based on that, the temperature can be, operating principle is also different. Okay. Now that's all about the technical point. Then the last point, last information, what we are going to discuss is how to become a certified energy auditor, and what are the things we have to go for an energy carrier as a system. Now, is it visible, madam? Hello?
Sir. Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, okay. So I think the people who are not joined so far, you can kindly join, because sometimes this is going to be important and interesting one. So I'm not talking only in terms of the faculty perspective. I'm also talking in terms of the student perspective. I'm not also talking about in terms of the energy auditor perspective. It's a perspective of the energy sector. Rather, if you are confining to only energy auditing or only energy management, I'm only concentrating, I'm just putting my view in the energy sector. What are the career opportunities are available in the energy sector? Now, yesterday I told you we have some designated consumer, DCs. So DCs can be classified based on their total energy consumption, and that to measured in terms of a common unit called MTOE, million tons of oil equivalent per year, 1 year, for 1 year. How much amount of MTOE they are using, including all the type of energy, petrol, diesel, electricity, LPG, furnace oil, wood, whatever may be. They convert all the energy in terms of MTOE, million tons of oil equivalent. How to calculate MTOE? 1 kg of oil equivalent equal to 10,000 kilocalorie. We know how to calculate kilocalorie. If it is electricity, how to calculate kilocalorie? It is very simple, because 1 kilowatt hour equal to 860 kilocalorie. Similarly, if you have coal will have this own kilocalorie. Furnace oil, kilocalorie. Everything is available. Even electricity, you can convert that into kilocalorie. Okay. Now, if you have a kilocalorie values, then that value, total value, all the total value divided by 1 into 10 power 7 kilocalorie, that will be equal to 1 MTOE. That's all. So multiply all, add all the, cumulate all the energy consumption converted in terms of kilocalorie, divide by 1 into 10 power 7, that will give 1 MTOE. That will give multiples of MTOE. Suppose if assuming that if a textile industry, if a textile company, textile manufacturing industry, their MTOE is 3,500, means they comes under the category of designated consumer. Okay, so this is not unique for all the plant. Thermal power plant and fertilizer, cement industry, iron and steel industries are having higher MTOE, whereas others are having lesser. Recently, this is an older figure. This is recently, hotel and IT industries are IT buildings are added. Hotel and IT buildings are added, and they are having their own MTOE values. 3,000 MTOE are fixed for IT building as well as hotel industries. Okay. Now, if any textile industry crosses, or any industries in this category crosses their benchmarking MTOE, then they are called as a designated consumers. Right. Suppose I am having a textile industry, my MTOE for 1 year is 2,000, means even though I am a textile industry, I am not coming under the designated consumer. No problem at all. Okay, so I am not a designated consumer. So any consumer will become a designated consumer if the particular type of industry crosses its benchmark value represented by Bureau of Energy Efficiency like this. Right? So this is as per the Energy Conservation Act 2001, and it was amended in 2011. Okay. So what is what the DC has to do? So as per the Energy Conservation Act, if any industry comes as a DC, then they have to appoint a full-time certified energy manager, CEM, certified energy manager. They have to appoint one certified energy manager, should be always available. Always available. And they have to conduct energy audit by an accredited energy auditor, not certified energy auditor. Okay. Then they have to give a prescribed norms and standard that depends on the industry specific, right? And they have to give a commitment to the Bureau of Energy Efficiency and Ministry of Power that in future, next year, 5%, 10% or 15%, whatever may be, that should be reduced without affecting their productivity. This commitment, they have to give it. Okay. And the commitment has to be met. Otherwise, penalty will be imposed. Very important point. Okay. So conducting the energy auditing based on the energy auditing performance, based on your consumption, you have to fix your target value. The target value may be 1%, doesn't matter, but you have to achieve it. Target value may be 10%, but only thing is you have to achieve it. When you are not achieving it, automatically penalty will be imposed. Suppose if I fix 5% as my target for my industry, I achieved 6%, what will happen? There is no incentive will be given. There is no incentive will be given. Rather, the 1% higher value, I can convert that to be a certificate. That's called as an ESCert, Energy Saving Certificate. That's called ESCert, ESCERTS, ESCerts. Okay. The 1% I can convert that to be a certificate with the help of a Bureau of Energy Efficiency. There are agencies are available that will convert that to be a certificate. And that certificate, you can hold it. You can do two different activity with the help of the certificate. Number one, for the next year, if you are committed 5% and you are achieving 4%, then the 1% certificate which is already available with you, you can take you can show it. Or you can sell the certificate, 1% certificate to some other industries who are not achieving their target. So two advantages are available. Either you can utilize for your own application in future, or you can sell it to other company, those who are not achieving the target. So that is possible. So this is called PAT cycle, PAT, perform, achieve, trade. So any designated consumer should comes under the PAT cycle. Perform. 5% performance you are giving, that should be performed. And achieve the value and trade it. If you are overachieved, you can trade it. If you are underachieved, penalty will be imposed. This is the case and the right. Then these are all the professionals, field of energy professionals available. You can become an energy manager, you can become an energy auditor, you can become an energy modeler, you can become an energy consultant, you can become an energy product developer. So this point you can tell to your students, such that most of the students are now going for the software industries. They're only looking at the software industries because software industries are bigger. And they think that, even some of the faculty members are thinking that software industry is the only industry which will give higher placement. No, it is not correct. There are plenty of opportunities other than the software. I will tell you what are the opportunities are available in the energy sector field itself. Okay, but the problem is we have some questions. If you go for an energy professionals, we have a question. Sir, do I need any qualification to become an energy professional, or do I need any experience to become an energy professional? Then how to get the qualification? If a qualification is required, how to get the qualification? What is the salary benefit I can get it? Financial benefit. And what is the promotion? Is there any foreign trip is available if I become an energy professional? Is there a possibility for lifelong learning of my profession? Is it possible? Yes, we will discuss one by one. If you want to become an energy professional, like an energy manager or auditor, then there is a qualification. There is a qualification. There is an examination. Examination was conducted by Bureau of Energy Efficiency. There is a separate scheme is available. So in that scheme, they are conducting the examination. So this examination is called National Certification Examination for Energy Managers and Energy Auditors. This examination is conducted by NPC, National Productivity Council. This is the nodal agency of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Okay, so they are the responsible person to conduct this energy auditor examination, energy manager examination throughout the India. Now, this information you can get it from the website called aipnpc.org. You can see the very important point. NPC is available almost in 17 places, 17 states. And Chennai, Tamil Nadu NPC is the NPC who is solely design this. Conducting this examination. Of course, all the NPCs are also assisting this examination. Now, what is AIP NPC? AIP, Ambedkar Institute of Productivity, National Productivity Council.org. You can see all the information in this website itself. Okay. So now in this examination, you have 4 different examinations are available. 4 different papers are available. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Right? I will tell you what it is. Paper 1 talks about the general aspects of energy management system. Paper 2 talks about the thermal utility, mechanical system. Paper 3 talks about the energy utilities in the electrical utilities. Paper 4 talks about the performance equipment. Okay. Now the point here is out of four examination, if you pass first three examination, then you will be given as a certification energy manager. If you pass all the four examination, then you will be certified energy manager. You will become a certified energy auditor. Okay. Now there are two options that are available. The people who are writing the examination. Either you can enroll all four examinations at a time, and you can take all the examination. Pass all the examination, will become energy auditor. First chance itself, you can become energy auditor. Okay. Suppose you enrolled for four examination initially, but you write all the four examinations, but you pass 1, 2, 3, not 4. You failed in the fourth examination. So in that circumstance, you pass 1, 2, 3. So therefore, you will become a certified energy manager. But you are not given fourth. Your paper 4 is not passed, so not cleared. So therefore, you are given energy manager, not the energy auditor. So next year, you have to write only fourth paper. No need to write the third paper, second paper, and first paper. So only you can write the fourth paper in the second year. Then you will become, if you pass, then you will become energy auditor. You will be given 3 chances for the first year, second year, third year. Three attempts you will be given. Okay, 3 attempts will be given. Either it is a consecutive year or different years, no problem. Okay. Now the second year, if you pass, no problem. If you fail, no problem. You can have a third attempt. In third attempt, if you pass, then you will become energy auditor. On that case, suppose in the third attempt, you are again failed. What will happen? You will again go back to the first one. On the fourth year, you have to enroll again 1, 2, 3, 4 again. So this is the case. Second case, I am enrolling for only first 3 papers, not for the fourth paper initially. So for this year, suppose I write only 3 papers. If in 3 papers I pass, then I will become energy manager. And the next year I will enroll only for the second paper. Then I will take the second the next year the fourth paper, or consecutive years I can take it. So first you can become energy manager, then you will become energy auditor. Like this way, this is also possible. Again in this, suppose if you enrolled for first 3 papers to become an energy manager, you write it this year, and you pass paper 1 and paper 2, but you failed in the paper 3. You can take the paper 3 alone in the next year. Again, 3 attempts will be given. Next year, you can write the third paper itself. Suppose if you pass, you will become energy manager. Okay. Suppose if you fail, then you have one more attempt to get the paper 3. Suppose if you pass, then you will become energy manager. In that case, if you fail, then the fourth year, again you have to do one more time, you have to do all the 3 papers. This is the scenario what the NPC is formed. Okay, so my best advice is first you can become energy manager by writing the examination 1, 2, 3. Then you can go for energy auditor. Even if you're writing the energy manager, you require a minimum 1 year preparation. 1 year preparation is required. Okay. Now we have paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. All the solved question papers are available in the website itself. No problem. You don't take any syllabus book, materials, all past 5 years question paper. Everything is available in the website itself. No problem. You can download easily. It's free. It's free of cost. No login is required. Just go to the AIP website, go to the page, question paper page, download, and you can download all the last 5 years question paper. Prepare as per your wish. This is the qualification of the certified energy manager. If you want to become a certified energy manager, the minimum qualification is a diploma with 6 years experience, or BE with 3 years experience, or ME MTech with PG degree with 2 years experience, or any graduate in management with 2 years experience is essential, right? For a certified energy auditor, same thing, but only difference is diploma holders are not eligible to become a certified energy auditor. They can have an energy manager itself. So for energy auditor, a minimum degree is graduate. The minimum bachelor degree is required. Okay. Now also we have an experience. You have an experience in the field by 2 years or 3 years, depends on the UG degree or PG degree you are having. Now ultimately you have a question, sir. We are faculty members. We are having an experience in teaching. Whether the teaching will be considered or not. The earlier case it is not considered, but now it is considered. I think it is considered now. I don't know whether it is correct or not. Recently, one faculty member cleared the examination. He who is working in an engineering college, and the result was published in the name of the name of college itself. So now they are considering the teaching experience also to write the examination. I think so. So I will let you know this point very clearly once I discuss with the NPC people. Then this is the pattern of the examination. All examination of the first 3 papers are 3 hours paper. The maximum mark is 150. So we have a 3 sections: section A, section B, section 3. Section A 50 mark, section B 50 mark, section 3 50 mark. Section A is a descriptive type, section B is an objective type, section B and C are descriptive type. Particularly section B is short answer and section C is a long answer. Most probably section 2 and section 3 are industrial problems only. Okay, industrial problems only. So this is the maximum mark. Then what is the pass percentage? Pass mark is 75 mark. That means 50% you have a pass. So you have a 3 hours duration. Maximum mark is 150. Pass mark is 75. Suppose if my mark is 74, it is failed. 73 failed. So many people got 74. This time my friends got 74, 73, 72. They put a valuation. They don't even get the values. Even if it is a 74, almost 74, same. Sometimes the revaluation will click. That is depends on your paper information. Okay, revaluation is also available, no problem. This is for first 3 examination. Whereas the last examination, energy audit examination, it is only for 2 hours. 2 o'clock it start and 4 o'clock it ends. The maximum mark is 100. Pass mark is 50. Again 50%. But the main important thing is it is an open book test. You can take all the 4 books inside the hall, refer anything, no problem. Nobody can stop you by referring the books. It's an open book test. Okay. So open book test, 2 hours, 100 mark, 50 mark is the pass. Okay. Now the people will have a bright face. It's an open book test now. So it is very simple to write the examination and get will become a certified energy auditor. Am I correct? Don't think that. Now the energy auditor examination, energy manager examination are one of the toughest examination in India. Out of 10 exams listed, one of the toughest examination in India is energy auditor and energy manager exam. Number 1. Number 2, every year they are increasing the toughness. Last year, they are, I think around 17,000 people are enrolled. I think the pass will be around 300 or 400. I'm just talking about the manager and auditor. Manager is higher, but auditor is so lesser, maybe around 400 people. That's all. Then you can see what is the level of toughness. That is why I told you 1 year preparation is minimum required to clear all the 4 examinations in one attempt, or at least first 3 papers in one attempt. Okay. So this is the fee structure. For general candidate, application fees 500. For candidate belonging to SC and ST 250, and other backward classes with a lesser income of 8 lakhs is 250. This is for examination fees. This is mandatory. For general candidate, 10,000 rupees, for which they will provide 4 books. All 4 books they will provide. If you are paying for only 3 examinations, this will be 7,500 rupees. Candidate belonging to SC ST 5,000 and OBC people 5,000. Company sponsored people you can have at 20,000 rupees is the examination fees. All the examination-related information you can get it from aipnpc.org or EM-EA, energy manager-energy auditor.org or beindia.gov.in. The next question will comes into mind, sir, when the examination will conduct. Normally, this examination will conduct in only 1 year. Once in 1 year. Once in 1 year. And that too in September 3rd week. It is categorized. It is almost finalized. Every September 3rd week, the examination will be conducted. The notification will comes in the common newspaper website normally in June end or July 1st week or 2nd week normally. So you have to regularly visit the website or the newspaper in which the exam notification will come. You have to fill all the document in online, submit the document, and once it is approved, then you will get the hall ticket. Hall ticket will not be immediately generated. It will be generated before the examination only. You will be approved and you will give a number, and The books will be couriered to you, to your mentioned address. The examination will be conducted only once a year, and that too only one place. That place is capital of the particular state. So in Tamil Nadu, the examination will be conducted in Chennai only. So only one state is having 2 centers, that is Kerala. Kerala will have 2 centers, one in Thiruvananthapuram, another one is in Kochi. So that is the only state will have 2 centers. You can choose the centers, depends on your wish. The people who are in Coimbatore, they can choose Chennai as well as Kochi, because Coimbatore is Cochin is very near to the Coimbatore, so therefore the people will go there. Nothing wrong. Either you can even go to Delhi and you can take the examination. Of course, the examination question paper is going to be the same. So the other profession is energy modeler. This is the new word in IGBC. You can see the word called energy modeler. Have you came across this word, energy modeler? Yes, this is the energy modeler. In foreign country, energy modelers are giving higher pay. But only thing is they need this qualification. Either they are certified by lead consultancy certification, or even a certified energy manager, or an engineer in training certification for professional engineering, or a graduate from. So these are all the education qualifications required. And similarly, they have an experience of energy modeling software like Equest, TAS, Safaria. So many softwares are available to model the building, model the energy systems. So if you are very familiar and if you have a certification qualification, you will become an energy modeler. In future, green building will be the only choice, and green building will take more amount of shapes in field. I don't know why the people are not opting the civil engineering. I'm very sorry to say that in future, civil engineering people are more wanted, because engineering field is going to be only revolving around, any building will be revolving around the green building certification. So therefore, for green building certification, electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, civil engineers are the core jobs. In future, we don't know whether the people will available or not. I'm just afraid of this point. Okay. Now this is the certification process. BE will conduct NPC once in a year, 3rd week of September, 2 certification. Okay, I told you this is again repeating. This is my certification. This is my ID card, energy manager ID card. This is the certified energy manager and the certified energy architect certificate. Suppose if you want to become, or if a student want to become, to produce energy efficiency product, is there any possibility? If you want to become an entrepreneur or an industrialist, is possible? Yes, possible. You can see this is the fan, BLDC fan, which is manufactured in Coimbatore. The first person who manufactured the BLDC fan in Coimbatore, the name is called Super Fan. And the ordinary fan will take 76 wattage of power. Rather, this fan will take 35 wattage of power at the 5th speed. And this is a remote control operation. And it saves more amount of energy. Number 1. Number 2, the hanging wall, the hanging rod. Now they are manufacturing with a spring, And if any person intentionally or unintentionally want to hang himself in the fan, then when the weight of the load above 26 degree or 28 kg, then the spring will come out and it will bring the person who is hanging there to the ground. So this is available, just 300 rupees. This rod is just 300 rupees. Anti-Suicidal Rod. This is called Anti-Suicidal Rod. This is again developed by Coimbatore people. An innovative product, a patented product. So any person can include as an entrepreneur to develop any energy efficient product. Now BLDC ACs are also available. There's a company called Sinfin. You can go for a website. This is manufactured in India, make in India product. In Uttar Pradesh, there is a company called Sinfin. They are manufacturing BLDC AC. Normal 5-star AC, 2-ton AC will consume 2000 wattage, whereas this AC will consume only 800 wattage. This is the BLDC fan. Either you can connect this into solar module also. Perfectly working. I saw in Chennai, which is very perfectly working. No sound, same air cooling, air delivery. So they are also come out with an BLDC, different type of filters like Ayurvedic filters, neem filters, in order to prevent the spread of viruses. BLDC refrigerator, 25 wattage DC refrigeration available. Compressor monitoring system. One person in 2-3 persons are available for manufacturing the online monitoring of the compressor, online monitoring of the furnace, online monitoring of the electrical system, online monitoring of the AC system. Now this is very important. Now this is very now because of the introduction of the IoT, because of the introduction of the blockchain and so many technologies, metering system, taking the readings, putting into the system, putting into the meter, and transferring the data into your mobile phone or computer or your server or your laptop, and seeing all the parameters here itself is going to be a very bigger impact. And even you can control here itself. You can change the flow, you can change the pressure, you can change the speed of the compressor. That's also possible. So measure is very important. Measurement is very important. That too, online measurement is very important. So now people are now coming with so many ideas. There's a company in Bangalore, so not in Mumbai. Recently, they called us. They called me. We have one good interaction between us and the company. They're probably manufacturing all type of IoT based monitoring system at very lower cost. Very lower cost. You can just fit the sensor and give the sensor to any type of meter, whether the meter is going to be a LMSR meter or ICD meter or whatever may be the type of meter. It will properly work. You can take the readings from the meters in your mobile phone itself. Only thing is they have an IoT modules are available that can be fitted to any type of measuring meters. So these type of improvements are not now available. That can be taken into account as a. Apart from energy auditing, there are so many auditing processes are available in the industries. One is ISO audit. So in ISO audit, you can see you can have a quality management audit, quality management system, environmental management system, energy management system, food safety measurement system, operational health standard accessibility system. And recently, we are having an ISO 27000 educational management system. So if your organization follows ISO 27001 education management organization system, education management system, then you don't need to prepare separate document for NAC, NBA, ACT, university, ARIA, NIR. No need. Everything put in an ISO 27001. Now it is coming in a bigger way. It was introduced in 2018. Because of COVID, it was not implemented. Now it is now implemented. Okay. Apart from that, we are having some process audit like 5S audit, total quality management audit, total productivity management audit, Six Sigma, Lean. You have a JET audit also, zero effect, zero defect audit for the MSME industries. Based on that, you have a rating, platinum rating, gold rating system like that. So any person, any student, any faculty member, apart from the audit, apart from the energy management system, you can also pitch into any of this area. You can tell this information to your students such that don't think always software is going to be the only area where you can able to get the jobs. These are all the area where you can get the more amount of job, good amount of job, a higher amount of scale packages, good experiences, good foreign opportunities, good learning opportunities, good promotion. So many things are available. You can become a utility, maintenance, production, design and planning, sales and services, external consultant, plant designer, process improvement auditor, ISO auditor, safety auditor, cluster development manager, energy efficiency manager, energy efficiency product developer, energy modeler, energy economist. This is the new word. There is no study in India. There is no energy economic course, energy analytic course in India. If you want to pursue energy economist, or if you want to pursue energy analytics, you can go for some other country. So this is the situation now. So energy economist, green process consultant, renewable energy designer, renewable energy developer, product developer, so many areas are available. So that is why I tell you this information to the students where I go, where I do the presentation. So these are all the areas that are available. You can pitch into that and you can excel in a very bigger way. Okay. So this is my mobile number and WhatsApp number. If you have please kindly note this this mobile number. If required, my mail is also there. My WhatsApp number is also there. This is the photograph of two persons. This is myself and this is my guru, Sri Ashok Ji. Ashok sir, he's an accredited energy auditor. Both we are working in a team, and I learned a lot of things from him. I'm still learning from him, and we are working as a team. He's a mentor of our company. He's also in Coimbatore. He conducted more than 500 energy audit in top companies. Even he is a PAT auditor also. He's an accredited auditor. He is a PAT auditor also. So you can kindly note my number. If required, you can call me or you can send a message or send a mail to me. Thank you. I think I finished exactly by 2 minutes before my presentation.
Yes, sir. So we'll have a question session right now if people have questions, or else we can move ahead to do the assessment sheets for today. And also for the yesterday's assessment sheet, we had a majority of answers saying that they'll take the answers via email. So I'll share the link for assessment today. And will 30 minutes enough, sir? Will be enough for 20 minutes?
No, madam. Actually, it is 15 questions are there. It is 15 minutes is enough. It's a very simple questions.
Okay. So I'll share the link for now. And after 15 minutes, we'll get done and I'll close the responses. So everybody can solve the questions. I'll share the link here as well as in WhatsApp group.
Sir, good evening, sir. This is Aravindan, sir.
Yes, Dr. Arvind.
Yes, ma'am. Is our Dr. Shivarasan sir in the line or?
I think he is there. Let me just check. He is online. You have a question for him?
Hello, yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sir, only one small question, sir. Actually,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Probably the energy auditor examination come in which month, sir? Actually, the notification.
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, my energy auditor notification. Probably the exam will conduct in the which month, sir?
Sir, normally it is in September, sir. September 3rd week.
September 3rd week.
Sir, examination will be on September 3rd week, sir. Notification normally will come on June or July.
June or July. Okay, yes. Okay, sir. We'll follow, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. The session was very much interesting and then very informative, sir. Actually,
you, sir.
Those are faculty. Definitely, we'll have some idea to go for this examination also, sir. Definitely,
Good, sir.
such motivation you are given. Excellent presentation for first three days, sir. Especially the past 2 days, it was excellent manner. We are receiving so many information, sir. Even though we are a faculty, we received the practical experience from you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you,
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for the feedback. If in case there are any other members who are interested in going for the certification and the exams Dr. Sivarasu spoke about, please mention the same in the feedback form. So once you're done with the assessment form, we'll share the link for the feedback form, and there you can type in the suggestions for improvement or any other box as to what would you plan to do with the training further. And do let us know if you're interested in appearing for that exam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
We'll be closing the link for assessment form in 1 minute. So if in case anybody has not submitted the form, please finish the form so that we can circulate that form. We are closing the assessment link now. Please fill the feedback form that's already been shared.